Thanks to my long life, I've had many years in each of the following pursuits. I'm Jan, and I'm the Compulsive New Yorker, and today is September 10th, 2023, and it's a Sunday. It has been raining all day. A record is when you achieve something that is a little out of the ordinary, being 90 years old and winning the race and doing such a good time. That's something that deserves a reward, in my mind anyway. Because there are very few rewards in old age, I can tell you. One of the rewards I don't have is I don't have a romance in my life. And I want it. I mean, yes, I want it. I heard myself say, you want it, but you're pretty happy when you're alone. No friction, no problems. Yeah, but no skin. And no warm human being who touches your face and says, hi, Jan. I'm so happy living with you, or so happy spending these moments with you. In fact, I really wouldn't even want to live in the same space with another human being, frankly. So just meeting 2, 3, 5 times a week is plenty. Why? Because I'm fucking obsessed with documenting my life. I have, truth to tell, 50 years of journals, more than half my life. Journals, that's text. It used to be handwritten. Then from 1995 on, it was tapped into the computer. And from all the way up until 2010. At 2010, I still kept a digital tapped text. But I'd done audio recording throughout it all. Oh, not really, not that much, just a little. But from 2010, I had 10 years of documentary filmmaking. Dance, people dancing, whether it's modern dance or social dance. You know, tango for the most part was my primary interest. And I and my then partner, by the way, she gave me this, which we call Lamb, a woman. And this guy, he hasn't gotten a name yet, but it's a guy. You can see he's a little on the arrogant side, or a little on the, what do you call that? Assaultive? No, assertive side. Assertive, that's the best way to describe a man. I'm not assertive, but I still am a man. So why am I not a man? I don't know. All these years of psychotherapy really haven't cleared that issue up. And what is the issue? Well, I feel that the world, when they see me, they can't hear me for one thing, and the other thing is when they see me, in my mind, they don't like me. So I see rejection all around me. And so one of the side effects of that type of a dysfunction is to long for affirmation, unfortunately from the wrong place, from other people, from you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and you. I'm not saying that's the wrong place. I'm just saying it cannot dominate. I have to have some sense of self-assurance and self-recognition, self-knowledge, self-connection, that if you weren't listening, I would still be speaking, because somebody out there is going to listen to me. And even if there was nobody, I really think that I would be doing this type of work. Audio by itself, which is my strongest self-expression, my most transparent, my most acute, my most raw and authentic. The radio journal work that I'm doing right now, this will result in a number of episodes of The Compulsive New Yorker, ones I edited. But because of I'm standing in the technological environment, and I'm trying to relate to you in some sense more than I am trying to, reach into my subconscious world to see what has moved Jan today or yesterday or recently or right now. Daughter number 1 is 60 years old, and daughter number 2 is 59. So you can see, I had them when I was about 30 years old, and their mother was 20 years old. But their mother and I, while we do love each other, cannot tolerate each other too well. Certainly not if it comes to anything sexual or overly romantic. We just, I don't know, those first 5 years together, that kind of fried our brains for each other. You see how strong the effect of 5 years in a married relationship can do? It can really, well, in my case, I think both of us, it blocked or corrupted our brains, at least towards each other. And sometimes, relationships and that can kill a man or a woman's desire for another relationship, especially if he realizes that he's going to be making the same mistakes, or he hasn't been able to control his jealousies and his anger and his control issues. Good God Almighty. You don't want to go into a relationship needing to dominate it anymore. That's passé. Oh my God. That leads to grief. And to jealousy, that's possessiveness. Did I already say that? No, control and possessiveness. Those are two deadly sins. Yeah. Even more deadly than greed or laziness. No, possessiveness and control when you're dealing with another human being it's primitive, it's unevolved, it leads to disaster unless that person has the opposite, wants to be possessed and wants to be controlled. So we're two dysfunctional people who have the mirror image of each other and brings each other the satisfaction of what we think we need. I need to control him. She wants to be controlled. That gives her a sense of self-worth. And my being jealous and possessive of her makes her feel that she's worth possessing, I do want in my final years to have another romance in which, oh my God, I so hope that I've learned the lessons of dispossession and lack of control. Please, don't torture me in my last life. Hi, I'm Jan. I'm in New York City, Manhattan. Today is October 29, I'm afraid, of the year 2023. Besides having fun, my reason for smoking, no, we know about that, but, because I have epiphanies, things that I would never thought of, I think about, I come to see, because they're revealed to me, because my self-critical brain is shut off. And so I am No matter what one says about the people who are stoned, they're delusional. They think they discover the world, when in fact they're really just looking at regular reality and seeing it enhanced in certain ways. And anyway, so there's a chance that what I'm just going to tell you now is really common sense. But I don't think so. It's a bigger epiphany than that, and I'm going to tell you. So I'm saying I'm okay on camera. I'm okay in audio recording. I'm okay as a human being in terms of being relatively, at least, interesting. But that doesn't make it odd, necessarily. I mean, I've done this for 50 years, you understand, so that does raise the stakes of my commitment to it. So I can, I think, call it art. I'm a monologuist. But the question is, am I deep enough or profound enough to, for example, do this live, or to expect people to look at this thing? And this is what happened in what I call my epiphany. I was, when I pleasured myself, I'm watching a pornographic film. I don't get very far into the film, maybe even only a minute, because just these two people, man and a woman, kissing each other is a turn on to me. I mean, they're good actors, but they're not porno stars. They are human beings who, one is a mixed race guy and the other one is a very, whatever you call that, very, very waspy girl, but they like each other, or at least the anticipation of having sex together is vivid. They both want it, at least from an actor's point of view. If they're getting $1,000 for this pornographic shoot, which is what it is, it's they need to put out for that $1,000, and they do it very well. Anyway, I don't know how. I'm trying to figure out how I came upon the idea, which I haven't expressed yet. But I was watching. So I was watching on this DVD that I have on my playback deck, that pornographic film. It's 7 minutes long. That's all there is to it. But it has a soundtrack under it, which has, in a very pleasant way, a forward-moving pulse. What I'm saying is that it relates to having sex, pumping, going in, going out. It had a nice sound, not like what my sounded like. It was, they had more interest, a couple of colors, pictures. It was a digital sound, but it had that form of momentum, and it had various other moments of transitions and stuff. I mean, it's music that you can buy for a pittance, because it's sold by music companies, to be used for advertisements and other stuff. But I need something longer. Anyway, this was pretty good. I liked it. And I said to myself, I want to use that instead of a beginning that I usually have in The Compulsive New Yorker, which is my main product. It's a 30-minute film, and it's being aired, oh my God, right now. Let me see what time. Oh, it's over. It's 11:30. I didn't get to see it. Oh my God. I think I have a couple of minutes. I gotta go away. I have to put it on. There are so many different moments in which they're kissing, for example. And, kissing deeply and kissing lightly, or kissing, expecting to see a gleam of appreciation on his face. That turned me on. And one of the last images to which I had this very strong erection, and brought me all the way in the course of about 3 or 4 minutes to climax. I'm back. It was too late. It's 9:30 right now. No, it's 10:30. And my show is from 11 to 11:30. It's on a channel called Manhattan Neighborhood Network. It's a public access channel. And I've done it for 10 years at 11 o'clock. every Saturday. That's 50 times a year. And over 10 years, that's 500 times. And what was tonight was episode number 517. October the 4th. There are 4 episodes every month. 4 weeks, since I do it every Saturday. But anyway, to get back to the real reason that I think I might interest you, I'm proselytizing for marijuana in my life. I smoked it for 50 years. I'm having a little trouble feeling that, what the hell? I feel the camera's kind of tilting. Oh, fuck it. I can't go away again. I'll just have to live with this. So I liked the soundtrack that was under their love making in all of its different iterations. Believe me, there were quite a few. He eats her. She sucks his cock. Excuse the expression, he fucks her from behind in the vagina for quite a whole section. And then she squats. He lies with face up, and she squats over his penis and is bopping up and down on his erect penis, supposedly erect, you don't see it. And it goes on, there's a number of things, and it ends at the end with a missionary position, which they do beautifully. They have a lovely climax. They're good actors. I like them. Hi, I'm Jan. I'm in New York City, Manhattan, Upper West Side. Today is February 17th in 2024. What was I getting at? Yeah, so I'm on the hunt. I'm not going to finish that sentence because it would be it would be laughable to hear a 91-year-old man saying, "I'm on the hunt for cunt." By cunt, in my mindset, I'm pretty much settling on I don't mean just, excuse me. I made a mistake, I don't mean just. I mean skin. And I don't mean just. Did I do that again? Skin, body parts that are warm, that are near my own body, that can console me, that I can console them. I can touch, I can stroke and caress and feel the magic of life that has a shelf life, that has a, whatever you call that, an end of life chronological clock that the organs just cannot take anymore. I want to celebrate life with another body, and another sympathetic body, another empathetic body, another loving body. It's a big dream. I mean, I've had that dream for 80, 90 years, and I've had many romances, and they have been, they've been what I wanted, or what I thought I wanted, and yet I let them go, and they let me go, you know? So obviously we were not able to sustain each other's life goals together. I mean, I must have begun and ended at least 8. I'm talking about on the more serious part, relationships that lasted more than a year. But I've been inside the lives of, and inside, of course, the bodies of 8 females. And they've had me in their lives and in their bodies, each for, 1 year, 1.5 years, 3 years, 2 years, 2 years, 5 years, 9 years, and another 1 year. Yeah. And yeah. So, it comes to about 8. So I've had a good deal of life experience, but I don't know if it has made me any wiser, any smarter. And I'm hoping that somehow, because I crossed the threshold of 90, which is really, is an important milestone of life, a marker. I'm thinking of these 2 women. I can see that one of them is, we're agitated. We're really not, we're not ready for that at all. We're more like maneuvering on the outskirts of understanding or feeling the vibes of each other. We're more feeling the the opposite. But one woman, so I had brunch today in a lovely Italian restaurant. And this is a woman who's never been married. This is a woman who's never had children. This is a woman who's a professional, who was a speech therapist, speech pathologist. And this is a woman who was part of the New York City educational system, so she's, a unionized person and institutional employee, with insurance and all types of things like that. And and she lives in this building. And with my affinity group being Jew, do feel that the socio-cultural pathway of Jews parallels that of Afro-Americans in the United States. They're marginalized. Hi, I'm Jan. I'm in New York City, Manhattan, Upper West Side. Today is January 27, a Saturday, in the year 2024. But because reading those words made me feel, I'm okay, Jan, and your mind is okay. Your body may be failing you, and your life may be shortened considerably. You still are okay for this world. You're still a viable mind. I decided I would do the necessary, put on the DVD of that porno couple, get out my drawings, get out a little saucer of olive oil, a rubber band for my testicles, and get myself into position on the bed, close the windows so I wouldn't be cold, and take 1/4 of 100 milligrams of Viagra, 250 or 25 milligrams of 100, and then take 2 drags, believe it or not, just 2 drags of marijuana, which I had just rolled on Thursday for the meeting with that woman because I wanted to see how she would react to I only brought it up. I only asked her, so what's your experience with marijuana? And she kind of was mostly somewhat not too interested. But I had brought it just in case she showed some interest. And we could sit there by the Hudson River and enjoy the view and anyway, have I think a more humane and feeling full interchange with each other without being worried about, do you like the way I say those things, or is this the wrong time? Am I saying too much? Or whatever. All these little, so to speak, censoring thoughts are gone, at least in the way marijuana affects me. Anyway, so I had 3 bouts with getting very excited with a strong erection, 3 times that I was probably stroking my poor penis at least 50 times without having a climax. On the 4th time, however, here's how it happened. I was listening at the same time to watching a paused image of these 2 people in a very kissing moment where they, really seem to like each other. We're listening to WKCR, which is a New York radio station broadcast out of Columbia University, which is 15 blocks from here. And it's run by volunteers, mostly students, but there was a very, and they're very jazz-oriented. So anyway, this particular program from 1 to 2 was what's called funk music. It's like not a precursor, what's a successor to R&B, rhythm and blues. I'm not talking about rock and roll. That's that's mostly a white thing. Rhythm and blues is the black thing. I know there's crossovers, but the bass, the pulse, the drumming, in the rhythm and blues and funk, which I say is a successor to it. It's electronic, however. In funk, most of the music is audio computer generated, and the vocals, of course, are also sweetened or changed, altered to sound in certain different ways, and the compositions are set out on tracks, and they're all like being concocted in the director's mind. It's one thing to produce the sound; it's another thing to, recording each of the voices, the bass, the drums, the piano, the voice. These all come in on separate tracks and can be mixed in different ways. And in funk, there's the bottom of all this sound is this whom, 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 whom. I mean, it's like a big whale, 2 whales having sex. Whom, whom. I mean, it's such a it's such a comforting and biologically authentic kind of bottom to all the music, and whatever you put up above it, instrumentally or vocally, it has a psychedelic feel to it. I feel like the musicians are stoned out of their minds. They're really very artistic. And I was listening to that, and that, I think, is the time I got off, finally. Because I was stroking to the rhythm of that pulsing. And then, of course, there was these slightly surreal vocals that might be saying, I want you, I want you, I want you. You don't know how much I long for you. Above all that other instrumentation and that pulsing thing. I mean, I know this doesn't sound very psychedelic, but it was a very sensual stew. And it felt very new, because it wasn't like in blues, or in rhythm and blues, R&B, it's outright sexual. I mean, they may use similar words, but a generation following, much of the same flavoring. It's all black. It's all black music. You know, that's an amazing thing.